It's one of my favorite times of the year because the seasons are changing. I was a biology major in college, and I wrote an extensive study on leaf senescence. Senescence is defined as growing old or aging, and in leaves, it's the term that describes what happens when they turn colors in the fall. Beautiful shows of red and yellow and purples. We often say that the leaves turn colors, but that's not really accurate. They lose their green color, and then the true color of the leaves shines through. What trees and plants are doing in the fall is they're realizing that the days are shorter, there's less light, and the cold weather's coming. And they begin to pull their nutrients, the chlorophyll, back into the tree to nourish and sustain the tree through the winter season. Then in the spring, the tree once again will put forth new growth and leaves to nurture the tree. It's a natural cycle. It did get me thinking about the church. We are in a season of change, perhaps senescence in the Lutheran Church. Change has been constant in our expression of the church. We remember the beginning of the Reformation movement this month with Reformation Day. Luther called for the end of certain practices in the church that led eventually to new growth in faith and expressions of the Christian faith. For the last nearly 300 years, the Lutheran movement here in central Pennsylvania has been growing and changing. We began with Lutheran immigrants forming small community churches led by lay people. Eventually, immigrant pastors would visit these small congregations periodically. The need for pastors led to the formation of the first Lutheran seminary in Gettysburg in 1826. The churches continued to flourish, and then in the 20th century, most of our congregations began to be served by an individual pastor. Now we're in a season where many people are moving away from all of the established denominations and faith communities. And we're working with a number of congregations that are closing and merging with neighborhood congregations. It feels like autumn in the church. Yet, it is the natural process. Congregations like Zion and Nola merged with St. Paul and Nola and sold their building, and in the process used their resources for new mission, such as a gift of $20,000 to the Synod Mission Fund to help expand our mission here, and a gift of $10,000 to help build the hospital in Mumbai in the Kandy Diocese. Filey's Lutheran Church merged with St. Peter's in Mechanicsburg and graciously gifted their building to Trinity Lutheran in Camp Hill. Trinity is looking to develop new ministry in that location. We're waiting to see what grows. These are examples of the natural process of converting existing resources to strengthen the whole church. We are in a season of senescence. It's a beautiful season of hope, even in the face of apparent loss of things from the past. It's right to mourn those passings. We're working to see what will come. Perhaps every congregation will not have a full-time pastor, just as it was when we began the church in this place. The Commission for a New Lutheran Church is looking at the structure of our church to see what needs to change, perhaps die or be trimmed back, so there can be new growth. I'm reminded that in this time of change, it's natural to see change and even death as a new beginning. Why? Because ultimately we are a resurrection people. We are people that know that death is not the final answer, that God has defeated death through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. We're in a beautiful season of change, a season of reformation, a season that may see a redistribution of resources, and ultimately, as sure as spring will come, a hope for new life in our churches. My hope is based on the movement of God in the Church of Jesus Christ, a movement to resurrection and new life. May God bless you in this season of change.